and people, maybe some hillbilly being influenced or something like that. Let's take a bleeding heart liberal that looks at what you call the teabaggers and those protests that were protesting higher taxes.
If you want to say that.
Well, I do want to say that.
It's bullshit. It's complete fucking bullshit.
Well, okay, and it's bullshit. And now maybe somebody's being labeled as a racist when they're not a racist because of what liberals are saying about them. You're fucking putting labels on people because it's easier than accepting the fact that maybe they're just mad at the way the government is running.
Okay, can I answer?
I am tired of paying the bill for every motherfucker in this country.
But where the fuck were these assholes when George Bush was the president? I didn't see no goddamn teabaggers flooding goddamn Washington D.C. with pictures of what you said.
They were fucking
bull fucking shit.
A lot of anti-war protests were going on when George Bush showed up. Oh, no, I'm not saying they're bad. Look, hey, I'm not saying it's bad, but they were there. Whenever George Bush showed up at the UN, there were fucking the police had to come out in droves to keep the protesters away from him.
Can I comment, please?
Sure.
Those fucking protests are so different from that teabag.
How is it different?
I'm going to tell you.
Expressing their disenchantment with the government. But go ahead.
I'm going to tell you why they're so different. Because those liberals, which, by the way, are far left liberals, those liberals that show up at the UN and stuff, don't have some radio and TV station rallying them up to go. They do it.
Sorry.
Wait, there's a big difference. There's a big difference. They are sincere and maybe wrong, but they show up on their own. But when you got a fucking guy lying about czars and scaring people with socialism, and bro, let me tell you something. I know you guys are intelligent, but that socialism shit is just a knee-jerk word for people to get scared, and there's no truth to it whatsoever. Wait, let me finish. And you can go to if you guys live in New York, go to some socialist professor somewhere, talk to Bernie Sanders. You might know who he is. Bernie Sanders is a senator who's a socialist, a Democratic socialist senator. He will tell you this. All real socialists will tell you this guy isn't anywhere near a socialist, Barack Obama.
But you just said that the anti-war protesters showed up because it's such a subtle thing. People don't realize they're doing it because they wanted to. It was a reaction. They wanted to.
Anybody at all.
And you're saying
only liberals can have grassroots.
And that the TV it's amazing.
Only liberals are allowed to have grassroots.
That's so cocky because you're just saying it. It is bullshit.
Just because more people
I'm not a liberal. I'm not led by
just because there's more successful conservative radio and television shows doesn't mean that conservatives can't show up under their own accord. It just so happens, coincidentally, there's more conservative shows. But every time anytime liberals get together, it's grassroots. Anytime conservatives get together, it's fucking clan meeting.
I'll tell you what, Anthony. If you want to work on something called if you want to talk about something called evidence. Let's work on evidence. You tell me where these radio or TV shows were that sent people to protest wars and stuff, and I'll show you fucking all kinds of people that sent people to be teabaggers in Washington. Come on, it's ridiculous.
You don't think?
And I'll tell you one last thing.
All shitty devices.
How did they show up? They had enough.
That they're pissed off.
Why didn't they show up then when Bush was president?
How did the anti-war people get together?
They just thought of it and just decided to go. That was a reaction. That was grassroots.
But they read each other's mind for the place and time.
None of this shit's real. It's not real. It's all bullshit. It's all against the people. This argument or this conversation, liberal, up there, they don't call these motherfuckers Barack. They call him Barry. They don't give a fuck.
Barack Hussein Obama.
He owes favors. He's the fucking. See, this is the thing about the president. If the president can come in in 4 years. Each 4 years, you change the entire infrastructure. Where you come in and go, you know what? War's over, motherfucker. No Afghanistan, no Iraq. Let's just come on. The president is nothing. I don't even understand why he's the figurehead in this. He can't stop anything.
You're right.
The next guy's going to just do the next thing. It's horse shit.
I agree with you on
that. The liberals have become arrogant and thought policing, and that's what drives me crazier about anything their ideology, any of their war stances. We've dealt with it as entertainers.
It's amazing.
I watch what Imus got fired for. I watch what black performers don't get fired for. And that's not black people's fault. That's fucking white people who are just targeting other white people because, like, you hit the fucking nail on the head. We're going, that's the one. That's the naughty one, not me. It's all about keeping the focus on the white guilt.
I was upset that black performers didn't immediately stand up for fucking Imus. Immediately.
That's the thought policing shit. That, by the way, Media Matters, that clip was a week old. They were the ones who targeted that. They didn't target Al Roker for doing an epilepsy joke.
Roker?
for doing an epilepsy joke. Do you understand? Well, he blogged very heavily about Imus getting fired.
He's a militant.
He was very, very vocal about Imus being fired. He was very vocal about Imus being fired.
He's the whitest black guy in town. He's a wonderful fellow.
Exactly. He's not a threat. Of course. But do you understand what I mean? They target the speech they don't agree with. They don't target other speech that they do agree with. They don't target people who ideologically they agree with.
So basically what you're doing is you call people dumb because at the end of the day, I can go, hey, everybody, get together and let's do this. And you're allowed to go, no.
Right.
But how can you get mad at Glenn Beck if he can get 50,000 people to go do dumb shit? And let's say Janine Garofalo, if she wants to get 50,000 people to go do dumb shit, it's the 50,000 people's fault.
Obama won.
They're fucking stupid for doing what the fuck they're told to do.
Hold on, all this leading the idiots, all the conservative radio in the world did not prevent Barack Obama from winning the election.
Well, what do you think about that? I'm sure you got an idea. I'll bet you got an idea.
Electronic voting machine.
I'll tell you what it is. More Americans voted for him than McCain. That's what it was. People wanted to change.
Allegedly.
I wanted Obama to win. I wanted the younger guy. No, of course not. I just sit here and talk. I wanted.
But all of a sudden, there's a Republican governor in what's been a Democratic state forever.
It will happen. It will happen. Yes.
White people got fed up.
Yes, the tax and spend.
Wait, hold on. Hold on, fellas. Jesus Christ. You want to look back through history? Whenever a new administration comes in, a whole bunch of states flip over. It happens all the time.
I'm not complaining about that.
And the right-wing talkers are all railing about that when they were looking for the Hoffman dude to win in New York 23, and all of a sudden that doesn't mean anything. Where the Democrat, they haven't had a Democrat.
That was such a scam.
There you go. There you go.
Come on. The Democrats and liberals would have been all over that if it was the other way around. That fucking Republican candidate was a Democrat. She was a fucking Democrat.
Well, she was a Republican.
She got thrown out. Some Republican went along with everything Barack said.
Well, listen, there are liberal Republicans, believe it or not, and right and far right.
Liberal Republican. Yeah, she wasn't a moderate. She was.
Well, how'd she get to be a Republican all that time?
Who the fuck knows? It's up there in goddamn cow country. But when the conservatives stepped in. He had fucking his votes were diluted by this woman. She wound up getting
the woman bailed out.
She bailed out. And the percentage of votes she got after she bailed out would have put the conservative guy over the top.
See, baby, you talk about arguing the same way Brother Norton's going. Oh, when the liberals went out and protested the war, they just did it on their own grassroots, sarcastic. And now you're doing the same exact
because it's the arrogance of the left that I'm talking about. We've got the issue,
bro.
It's the arrogant thought policing of the left. I'm telling you. You're asking about liberals. I don't hate liberal ideology. It's something I don't agree with. It's the arrogance, I know what's better for you than you do. I understand the unwashed masses shit that liberals have become, which makes me sick to my stomach, because they're doing the same thing they hated the conservatives for. I dealt with them. I know it when we would do Tough Crowd, the things you could make fun of, the things you couldn't make fun of. If it was a sacred cow of the right, it was okay. You want to shit on Catholicism? Good. And you should be able to. But fucking like Larry David, that little piss drop on the thing of Christ.
Right.
I would love him to have done that with Muhammad. Never gonna happen. Fucking the phony New York Times wouldn't show that fucking...
Why would he do it to Muhammad? It ain't a good bit. You know, but everyone would be cheering. All the conservatives would be pumping their heads.
You understand?
It's not a good bit.
Why isn't it a good bit?
Well, the fucking Muhammad.
Why wouldn't the New York Times...
First of all, I don't know what a picture of Muhammad looks like.
Exactly.
Come on, you know it ain't a good bit.
Why wouldn't the New York Times show that picture that the Danish cartoonist did? Why wouldn't they show that, but they still showed Piss Christ? Why wouldn't any of the New York papers show that? The media completely left it alone.
Why?
They're afraid, because they're afraid of Islam. They're afraid of the violence in Islam, and they won't say it. South Park, one of the only edits they ever did was when they wanted to portray Muhammad, and they said, absolutely not. They very rarely will.
They had that.
No, they didn't do it. And they came out and they gave this statement. Because of recent world events, they won't even name Islam.
So they're more afraid of Islam than they are of right-wing Christians.
There you go.
They're afraid. By far, of course they are. Of course. Terrified. The way they shit all over Christianity, they're much more afraid of Islam.
Yeah, I don't know.
Much more afraid. Right-wing Christians.
Who is, though?
Every newspaper that would never print that Danish cartoon.
But who's holding the strings that says that they're not allowed to do that?
Good question.
I don't think the editor gives a fuck.
The editor does care.
Wait, no, who's the higher that's saying that's wrong?
We as a society, our whole
as a group,
our whole fucking way of life is afraid of offending Islam.
Of a guy running in with a bomb.
More so than offending Christianity or any other religion.
Christianity is safe to make fun of compared to the other, especially compared to Islam.
The retribution is fucking tragic.
Well, you guys are the fucking poster childs for you don't fuck with Christianity.
Yeah, well, we didn't say
that's not true at all. We shit all over Islam. We shit all over Christianity. We shit all over.
No, but I'm saying no. You're not saying you.
We didn't say it's absolute.
Not saying you're hypocrites. I'm saying that you lost your jobs because Christians band together and got you fucking fired.
No, we didn't. We lost our jobs because the company that sanctioned the contest fucking backed out.
Because what?
Bill Donahue.
Pressure from...
Absolutely. I don't fault Bill Donahue. I don't fault Al Sharpton either. I don't fault Sharpton and Jesse Jackson for getting Imus fired. I fault fucking Les Moonves for buckling when he didn't have to. I fault the fucking companies for buckling because they think it's Selma in 1960.
But who is
and it's going to be a boycott that's going to hurt
it. It's ultimately... this is what I'm trying to get back to, is human. All these labels, it's about humans being liars. It's about lying. If people didn't lie, then we wouldn't be pointing our fingers at this one or that one. The New York Times guy is going by the fact that we all are liars right now. Anthony, to me, look, and fucking
Colin?
Yeah, Colin. Somebody, Colin's back here yawning. Poor Colin.
Me and Colin are playing hangman.
Anthony and Colin what, bro?
Colin's thinking he left his Bengay at home. He's getting tired. I'm saying at the end of the day, I'm giving Colin and you credit because at least we can have racial conversation. Everybody thinks just because you talk race that you're racist.
I know.
People could just be racial and get it out just so we're not as led around by these discussions about who's doing what and who's afraid. Why the fuck would it's the Rush Limbaugh thing? He can't buy a fucking football team. The motherfucker that owns the Pittsburgh Steelers never owned a slave, nigga. So Rush Limbaugh is the racist, but these old white dudes that own football teams aren't. Fucking the Dallas Cowboy motherfucker, that Texas oil baron, think he loves black people. Like, I'm just saying,
Mark Shaw was able to own a fucking baseball team.
Exactly. Like, so that's what I don't want to. I don't want to be a fucking slave to the fact that you're going to tell me who the villains are and this and that. Yeah, let's have real conversations.
We're having one right now.
Fucking Rush Limbaugh. Rush Limbaugh's the villain. I'm not defending him, but you're going to tell me these other what? Rush Limbaugh's going to get in the NFL and go, I'm going to try to win a game with all white players. Like, get the fuck out of here. He's as racist as anybody else who I can't prove it.
Listen, it's true.
Fuck out of here, man.
It's true. White people are stereotyping black people and they're racist. Maybe you'd like to look on Maury right now.
5 babies DNA test.
Let me just get one.
Can I get finish my thought on there? The reason is people are afraid of Islam. I would be too. I'm not saying that they're dumb to be afraid of Islam. What bothers me is the fucking phony attacks on other religions, and they won't come out and say, we won't show that cartoon because we're afraid of a suicide bomber coming in, which is the reality. And I wouldn't fault them for that. I'm not saying I'm ballsy, but there were people that quit. I think it was the New York Press or the Village Voice because they wouldn't show that cartoon.
Village Voice?
It was one of the Voice people, the reporters were quitting because the paper fucking copped out. They would not address Islam honestly. And they won't just say, we're afraid of them because they react really violently. They attack right-wing Christianity all the time, and they should.
But let me just say one last thing about this liberal conservative shit. And I know I ain't sinking crap in with you dudes. Here's the deal, bro. Since Barack Obama has been the president, and before in history, there are radio stations. I'll just use Rush Limbaugh as for instance. Rush Limbaugh has a show. He did it with Bill Clinton. That's how he became famous, Rush Limbaugh. Rush Limbaugh has 3 hours a day, every single day, and his whole mission is to bring down Barack Obama. That's what the show is, 100%. I get his emails every day, Jim. I'll get his emails every single day. I'll show them to you.
I thought they had a fairness doctrine thing.
No, that was the liberals crying because people don't want liberal radio, so they were like, well, if they get it, we should have it. They don't want the fairness doctrine anywhere else. They don't want it in sports. They don't want it anywhere else, but they want it with talk radio where people are expressing opinions because people didn't want to hire liberal talkers. So like, well, how can we get in there? Oh, let's make it a fucking the government mandated thing. It was bullshit.
By the way, the fairness doctrine was in existence once. Then it was taken away. They used to have, when I was on the radio, if you had a dude on, you had to have the other dude on. If you talked about one side, you had to talk about the other side, which in all honesty will make for a smarter populace. But in the meantime, you got a bunch of radio shows. dedicate their shows to bringing down your president. That never ever happened in the day, ever.
They're all getting, the thing is this, you know the fairness doctrine, come on.
Forget the fairness doctrine.
Like that, it's all about,
I'm
based
not
on
saying
rating.
that.
Rush probably
wanted
Obama, and this is how dumb the Democrats are.
I hear you.
This is how dumb they are. Obama addressed Hannity, and he addressed fucking Rush by name, like they're the Republican Party. They're just talkers. He was harsher with Rush Limbaugh than he was with Ahmadinejad, or fucking anything that's going on in the Middle East. He had harder words for Rush Limbaugh.
That's because some people believe that diplomacy might be a good thing. I know you guys don't on the right. You'd rather bomb every Muslim off the planet.
Not true at all. Bullshit. Not true at all. I'm all for diplomacy.
Then what's wrong with diplomacy?
Nothing, but I'm saying Obama reached his hand out to a guy who said that he wants Israel wiped off the face of the map, and Israel, if we don't do something, is going to attack Iran.
I will say something about the Muslim community in this country. There's some silent motherfuckers. See, here's the thing about other groups. Black people every group has the other group in it that will say, we're not associated with that motherfucker.
Yes.
Now,
I got bad news.
Here's the thing. Wait a minute.
Here's
the thing.
News.
In England, it's harder to be that racist in England against Muslims because they live with the community like fucking Puerto Ricans live with people in New York.
Not in my fucking
Here, fucking Muslims, if Muslims start running around bombing malls and doing all that goofy shit they do in England and Israel, bad things are going to happen to all Muslims. Yeah. So if they can differentiate between the ones that we go, them, which is what niggas had to do and Asians had to do, where if black people start flying planes and the shit, most likely it'll be those black people not, here we go with this shit here.
But mum's the word.
Because Islam is very peaceful. It's a very peaceful fucking religion.
Right, Patrice, wait, I just want to tell you something, because this is what happens on the radio. Patrice just said you don't see the Muslim coming out speaking against, correct? Didn't you just say that?
Well, in terms of saying, but on the streets too, Brother Weez, on the streets, if you ask a Muslim, what do they think? They go, well, you know, it's a thing that we have to do what we, you know.
That guy just
never like fuck him. Never like fuck that dude for blowing up shit.
Bro,
ever.
Listen, this is what I want to say. Just yesterday on MSNBC, they had a Muslim broad, who was some professor at some big school here in this country, that was up screaming against the Muslims. And she's a deep Muslim studier and knows the religion and the whole deal. And she wants more people to come out. But she was up there for 15 minutes as a Muslim, denouncing the Muslims, the violent Muslims, and the Muslim extremists. Because a lot of people in this country, and I'm not going to say hillbilly,
but look at the point you're making, though.
Muslims
you
are
just
Muslims.
made the point.
You're just
she
making
wants more people to come out.
The point is,
but he didn't think she existed.
No, but of course, but
it was on the exception to the rule show.
Yes. Where's just some dude? If you talk to a cab driver, you like to talk to people. People like to talk, and it's like you talk to a cab driver and you go, "Hey, man, what's going on over here?" You'll go, all right. They'll never go. You talk to 20 Muslims or 20 dudes you think are Muslims and ask about this situation and see if they go, it's all fucked up. It's all fucked up. The Israel, fucking Palestine shit's all goofy. The fucking India versus Pakistan is goofy. You won't hear those people say that shit's goofy. They won't do it. So that's why they put themselves in a spot to go, all of you. If Asians went, this is the problem with Muslims. They haven't went through this shit yet. This is their time to go through the shit like Asians did. Asians have earned their place to go suck my balls because they've been put in fucking concentration camps during World War II. They scooped them up, threw them into some fucking camp because they're fucking Chinese.
Yeah, that was some bad shit.
They went
some wrong
through
stuff.
it. The Muslims haven't gone through the shit that makes the ones go, hey, I live here and I love it. Them motherfuckers that do dumb shit, fuck them. So that we won't look at them all the same. Because if Asian people blew up a mall, you would not look at all Asians like they blow malls up because they earn their spot. Muslims haven't earned their fucking
Asians also never attacked us from within as civilians. Asians also, no other group, it's the first time we're dealing with this, whereas, and this is why the internment camps were so wrong in World War II, it is because the Islam has purposefully used the way we live and attacked us as civilians. So it's not like they came in here as a paramilitary group, they were just civilians. So they trained us to look at all civilians suspiciously, and then we look at civilians suspiciously and we're accused of being racist. There's no way to win that.
Which
so
is
you're
what,
either sitting ducks or you're smart and you're profiled.
Which is what those shitty movies that have a guy give a speech in them. Like, you Americans are so stupid. Because they know the deal.
Citizen.
It's this goofy shit.
You have to arrest me.
Muslims have to go through that shit.
They have to make me laugh.
They have to turn in this pressure. They have to deal with the pressure.
I want Weez, yes.
I just want to tell you this. The right wing always brings up the fact that Fox is the man and they got the ratings, and like somehow that makes it the truth. But just let me remind you, the Transformers was the #1 movie.
But I'm not saying that.
Remember that shit. It's important.
But the Transformers is a day in, day out event. Ratings run the world when it comes to stations and making money. And I'm saying that for some reason, those guys get numbers. I mean, they killed. Keith Olbermann's on the air because he gets ratings. I mean, he doesn't do as well as Hannity, but he gets fucking ratings.
I got to say something here about that. What you just said. I'm not saying it makes it the truth. I'm not saying it makes it.
That's what I feel like you're saying.
No. They have the ratings, but what it does is it gives the left an excuse to say things like, oh, the people that showed up weren't angry about taxes. They were racist, baited by the station. They were baited by the stations that have the huge viewership and huge listenership, instead of just going, you know something, I'm tired of paying taxes, and there is a demonstration about it, and I feel passionate enough to go and represent this cause.
But it's suspect, my brother, because the motherfuckers, if you actually believe in your goddamn heart that why these people weren't there during the Bush regime, but they showed up after Glenn Beck and Fox News. But God damn it, the evidence. When did their tax change? Nothing fucking changed. Both.
Let me tell you something.
You're telling me your life has changed.
I'm telling you, my taxes have gone up already.
I must not have noticed.
They have
these ratings better since Combs left?
Hannity's fucking, him and O'Reilly destroy everybody.
You know what it is? And this is something that, maybe not directly because of Obama, but Obama's saying people that make more than $250,000 a year. Wait. No, not there yet. Hold it. Not there yet. But when you get Obama, the president, the one that's changing things, everyone's looking up to, saying, we want to tax people that make $250,000 a year or more. Then lower government, use his example, like they did in my fucking county, and tax the shit out of me.
So now
their whole thing is by Democrats that are running the fucking county. Oh, although Swazi, oops, he might be out now. He was tiptoeing his way, going la-di-di, I think I'm winning, and I'll recount. Looks like the Republicans.
By the way, Anthony, all of this is the bigger thing.
But it was a catchphrase of everyone going 250,000 or more. Now it's everyone's hands on the money.
You're directing your anger at the wrong thing, because at the end of the day, we're all, no matter how much money we got, we're all paying back a loan that the government takes out from a fucking bank. This is not about this is about people. It's not about fucking your county.
I want to simplify it.
They need your money to pay back fucking Chinese people.
I want to simplify
Anthony's pissed because they just taxed him on his new Messerschmitt.
I want to keep it simple. I make X amount of money. I want to keep X amount of that money. And it's getting less and less and less.
It's not your money.
Fuck you.
It don't belong to you.
I'm sitting my ass in this chair every fucking day.
I know,
and I pay my fucking bid on taxes.
I know.
And I always have. And the motherfuckers, it's never enough.
I know it's fuck you.
Never enough.
But it's not ever enough.
How much, Weez? How much do you want to pay in tax?
Well,
how much do you want to pay?
How much is enough?
Where will you reach a point where you go, fuck these guys?
Here's the unfortunate truth. Never. Because I think you're full of shit.
Why?
I think you're a Republican, elitist, rich guy. Let me give you a minute. Wait, let me tell you.
All right. I want to retort.
Yeah, I'm sure this is your joint. I have friends where I live really rich. right? This is my life experience. I have some really fucking rich friends, obviously all Republicans, and they're bitching and they're moaning about all this crap, which hasn't even touched them. These people got all the crap that Colin was just making jokes on you. I'm not bullshitting you, planes. These motherfuckers that are worried about people getting health care or any kind of handout, they're going to have one less Ferrari. I ain't bullshitting you.
You don't think
so wait a minute.
No, they've already given their Ferrari. Now they want both of their fucking Ferrari. No, they're the ones taxed up the ass.
Okay, here's bottom line. Let me just finish.
I think unemployment's at 10%.
Bottom line that I know for
collateral.
Bottom line that I know for sure. All my rich friends are going to stay rich and die rich. But not as rich, maybe. Come on, man. We just pass through life. I believe Hillary.
I understand.
I believe it takes a village. And I'm not bullshitting you. I saw that Oprah show where it went around the world. I'm sure you guys don't look at that. You think you'll grow a vagina or something. But I watched that Oprah show because I like it. And she had these people from all over the world, and I forgot which country, Norway or something. 50%. These people were paying 50%, and they got everything. They had everything. This healthcare thing.
Because they're all white.
That's right. That's why. Can you imagine, though, honestly, if we had health care, and don't start with the anecdotes about Canada, if you had that health care, and you didn't have to take it out of your money from work, or if some guy with a business didn't have to pay half of every cat that worked there, and you didn't have to worry about getting sick. I mean, this is all a good life. It's good.
Sounds good.
It is good.
As more hands go into my pocket.
Big fuck your pocket.
You know what?
Someone's got to have a pocket.
One day they're going to go into your fucking bank account and take what they need.
When did America,
as opposed to fucking this pretend tax
When did America
shit.
become a place that guarantees people
life, liberty, and pursuit of happiness?
Yes, pursuit. Chase that motherfucker.
Well,
and if you catch it, best of luck to you.
Let me ask you this one question. Why is this country, the one that brags about being the best country in the world, the only industrialized country that doesn't take care of their people?
Free enterprise, competition, and incentive.
So we got people dying.
Wait, listen to me.
But he's talking, see, Weez is talking humanity, Anthony.
I pay. You're making it sound like I'm sitting there with gold doubloons going,
Mwah. You want to?
I pay up the
And listen, Monopoly Man.
Up the ass, and they want more.
But we already do have healthcare. We have the best healthcare in the world.
We have that's why we're ranked. That's why we're ranked in the 30s. What the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah, when everybody needs a surgery for something, they go to fucking Guam. Well, actually, Guam. They go to fucking Africa.
Evidence. Can we do evidence? Right now, there's something, and it was in the Parade magazine of all things. That's insert in the Sunday paper.
That thing's too edgy.
Probably they have things called surgical vacations. But that's what I don't want to call you guys.
People
bad.
are going to Mexico and getting surgery.
People are going to a lot of places and getting surgery.
Yeah, and Brazil is my favorite place where people go.
Happens.
But this is what kills me.
Certain types of surgery, though, down there.
Well, they get a vagina. But listen, people are traveling to many places to get operations. But here's what kills me. You motherfuckers going, we got the best health care. We don't have the best health care. We might have the best doctors and technology.
Yes.
Health care, the word care means someone's getting taken care of.
Nowhere else.
Come on.
Where else in the world? And don't bring up one of these little shit countries that have no people like Sweden. Bring up a big country.
Well, that's a problem.
40 people in the whole fucking country.
40 people.
One thing I like about Weez is he argues about like this. He's like talking political, intellectual. He's like, you motherfuckers. But listen to me.
Because he doesn't get the curse in his
right.
What other country can you walk into the emergency room and get everything taken care of?
Tons of them.
No.
Yes.
Except for little, don't mention
What,
Sweden.
Canada's that little? Space-wise, they're pretty big.
Even the most liberal... The most liberal Canadians I know say you're making the mistake of your life.
Fuck you, Colin. That is anecdotal bullshit.
It's bullshit.
It is bullshit.
We all know it's
How much bullshit?
Colin, you're bullshit.
Like Jimmy's being sarcastic. I see the face.
You waited all this time to just say some fucking dumb shit, Colin.
Exactly.
Why don't you shut the fuck up, man?
The dollar is falling. Shut up. I swear to God, it's not anecdotal. It's a true. It's
anecdotal. It's not true facts. Let's make some phone calls. I do it all. Let's call Canada. Let's call Canada. And get a guy on the phone random. And what happens if he says to you, by the way, I got a comic was just on my show, American kid that married a Canadian broad. They're up in Edmonton.
Fantastic.
Anecdotal. They had a baby. She had a kid. It didn't cost them a guy. What are you talking about?
When I said anecdotal, it was
because I'm responding to yours.
Oh, but I'm saying
you're anecdotal because you just said everybody in Canada says it sucks. Everybody
I don't mean everybody. You said everybody.
Okay, hold on. Unfortunately for me, I broadcast from across the water from Canada. I actually have Canadian listeners.
Yeah.
These people call up all the time saying, I cannot believe what you people in your country are doing. And people don't want health care. I mean,
you know something? If it could be done without more fucking mitts in my wallet,
what if it could be done?
God bless, because I'm done fucking paying for everybody.
Wait, what if it could be done with putting mitts in your pocket?
No.
So you must not like Jesus.
No, it's
I love my Jesus.
It's nothing to do with
Jesus
religion.
wants people to have health care.
Here's what it is. America. A place on this great globe of ours that you come to or are born in, and you have the opportunity to, through luck, through wealth, through skill.
At least he came up with luck.
No, it's true. But it's true. There's a little bit of everything involved. That's what makes this a great country.
And there's no difference between that and about 50 other countries, by the way.
To get as high up as you want, there is no obligation to the person that succeeded to take care of or bring up anyone beneath them.
So let me ask you this.
Is it righteous? Is it nice? Of course it fucking is. Is it mandatory? No.
Not here. But wait a minute.
No.
But let's say you were a guy in Toronto. I don't know if you've ever been there.
Yeah.
One of the great
Lovely
cities
city
in the world. Great big city. And you have all those exact opportunities that you just mentioned. Plus, they take care of everybody. A little better. Same exact every opportunity that you just mentioned, you can have in Toronto.
Take care of the mismanagement for the money.
What if everybody...
And Canadian pussy smells terrible, to be very honest with you. I've had a few that are fucking horrendous.
Towards whatever, like 50% or whatever the percentage they have, they pay towards healthcare. Because look, I'm both sides. I think our healthcare system, it's not bad. It's just...
Terrible.
It's just shit. It's just
85% of people are insured.
Wait a minute, no. On a human level,
15% not bad.
Yeah,
that's a lot of motherfuckers.
85% of the people in this country are insured.
Yes. Why are we fucking complaining? Exactly.
That's the 15% that's not insured.
15%. Always.
Wait.
All this is for 15%.
Wait.
By the way.
Wait. You might want to talk to some of the cocksuckers that were insured, that are broke now with insurance. Don't line up the phones. But the kids that work for me that just had babies, for instance, with insurance that they pay dearly for, had to pay thousands. And they're not
because they lost their jobs?
No. They're
What happened to their...
Don't fucking ask me. I'll call them. They keep telling me this. I don't understand it my own self. But what about the people with insurance?
You're just being led blindly by them.
I think so, bro. What about the people with insurance that are still going? What about the people denied surgeries with insurance? If you deny the fact that the insurance companies have a person with a job, their whole job is to deny you an operation, then you're not being truthful.
I understand that.
Well, isn't that Patrice? How ugly?
That's an ugly thing. It's an ugly. But here's the human part of it. This is what fucks me up. We don't talk. The human part is there's somebody with a job to tell you that you're gonna die.
There you go.
And if people decided that I'm not gonna take a job where I'm just gonna allow people to die because I was told to allow people to die. It's my thing about the fucking... No, I'm sorry, Colin. It's the thing about the whole thing of Hitler and I know I keep saying this, but it's like, who do you hate more? Hitler for going, I hate Jews, I want to kill them, or a bunch of motherfuckers who just go do it because they told them to? Who the fuck is wrong? I take a job to say, Patrice, you gotta pay insurance for a year, but you have diabetes. Wait a minute, you got diabetes. You got to pay for a year, $400 a month for a year before we ever take care of your diabetes.
Well, if you
pre-existing condition, I'll be dead before I fucking get help.
That doesn't sound good. It doesn't, and neither does you go out and crash your car 50 times. Your premiums are going to be a little high. Your car insurance.
What does one? Wait, that's a stupid.
Thank you. I couldn't get out of my throat fast enough.
What kind of comparison was that?
I'm doing a cold-blooded study on insurance, which is the higher the risk, the more you're going to pay. It's risk assessment.
But that's not a nice country.
That's true.
That's not a nice country.
It's true. It's not a nice country.
I want to take care of my brothers and sisters.
Well, you're
Fuck
a good
me.
man. You're a good man, and you know something? 90% tax your ass, and 30% tax mine.
I'm in.
Because I'm an asshole,
I'm in.
and maybe in the next world you'll get a better place than I will.
I don't even believe there is a next world.
Are you an atheist, Anthony?
I am.
Nah, I know that there's probably something, but I don't fucking understand.
Anthony, that's agnostic. Agnostic.
I'm just like,
he don't believe in nothing.
By the way,
in nothing.
No, bro, I just told you didn't hear my story. I'm a Jehovah's Witness now. Legit.
Is that it?
Legit.
Really?
Yeah.
No Christmas?
No
fuck
medication.
They say there's only
no,
100,000 people are going to make it to heaven, right?
Yeah, but I'm number 100,000.
Right. You just right under the wire.
I got in late.
And they don't vote.
I ain't voting no more.
Yeah, Jehovah's Witnesses don't vote.
Wait, you don't vote anymore?
I'm a witness.
Yeah, Jehovah's Witnesses don't vote.
They didn't tell me that yet.
This ain't real.
Bro, this is real. I'll show you the letter. Bro, listen to this. Wait, real quick. Witnesses came to my door, so I answered the door because I'm like really don't like organized religion. I don't want to piss anybody off here. I like the Bill Maher take. I'm sure someone hates him in here somewhere. So anyway, that's the way I am. So they come up to my door, and I answered the door right up to my door, and I go, "You guys, I'm the Antichrist. You came to the wrong joint." And you know they sold me. I'm not kidding you. I dug their rep. So I started.
Wait, what do they say that sold you?
Well, one of the things they say is they don't go to war.
You talk about Fox leading people, and you fell for the Jehovah's Witnesses rap?
That was good.
With a box of watchtowers.
That was going to hurt.
That's good, though, bro.
Please, that was going to hurt you a little bit.
I like it. I know, that's a beautiful beat.
You don't believe in war, and you were over there 3 fucking tours, right?
Well, wait a minute. No, it's not. That's why. My tours in Vietnam are why. I don't even want to get into that. Well, look, I got.
You were
such
talking about
takes.
Afghanistan last night. You don't want any more of the boys going over there.
No, I don't want anybody.
And wants a lot of the guys to go over there.
No, I didn't say that. Holy fuck, I did not say that.
You want to send our soldiers to die?
You want to
Anthony?
send 16-year-old kids?
Hold on. All right.
Fuck you, man.
You want to send high school kids over there now?
That's
your
right.
thing?
I said as far as soldiers go, and as far as commanders go.
I can't wait.
You want to go back to Iraq?
I said, when you listen to them, when they are given an order by their president, and you send them and give them every resource they need to finish the job, or you get them the fuck home.
Okay, hold on.
And get them out.
I heard a dude called a political talk show the other day, and my blood boils, and they talk about Vietnam. And they go, the same rap you just did, that's the bullshit they keep talking now. You give them all the stuff so we can finish it. Here's a bulletin for the dumb motherfuckers. There is no finishing it.
I understand that.
Alexander the Great till today, you can't beat that Afghani motherfuckers.
But don't leave it half-assed sitting in the middle of something. Then take them out. Then get them home.
It was half-assed when we got there.
Then assess the situation and go, we can't win this. Get everybody to
And don't help them the next time somebody invades.
Right.
Dumb assholes we are. We should let the Russians do what they wanted.
But why do we never look like if this? What are we over there doing?
Exactly.
That's what I'm saying.
What's
like,
his weed? Mind your business, black people. Anyway, fellas, what I'm trying to say.
Keeping the world safe for democracy.
I don't get it, man. This the fuck.
But I heard this dude call up this political talk show about Vietnam.
Right.
Because a lot of guys say that. If we had what we need, and I went 3 times, if we had what we needed and finish it, what I wanted to pose the question, what was finish? They want to blow up the whole joint? That's what they're talking about. When they say finish any of these wars, they mean blow up the whole kill every motherfucker there.
Well, here's what
That's
they mean.
ridiculous.
They mean place their guy there so they can have all the fucking resources.
There you go.
There's
Which
no
is
resources in that fucked up country.
there's some funky diamond over there that God put there.
Funky
All
diamond.
there is fucking heroin.
God put a lot of shit over there. Opium, exactly.
Let the conspiracy go.
Hey, how about the fact?
Let it fly now.
That's why they
the
fucking
government's selling heroin, everybody.
Wait a minute.
baby.
That's why they hate fucking Chavez, man. Because he's a dictator that says fuck you. Yeah. They need people so they can go in there and keep the shit.
Fucking green card.
By the way, Patrice.
Yes.
He's a benevolent dictator. See, that's another word.
He loves his people.
He takes care of the
He
people.
loves his people. That's why they fucking hate him.
And the cold people in Brooklyn, right? Didn't he buy the oil for people around here somewhere?
He loves his people because
he loves his people, and that's what they hate dictators who fucking are really for the people. That's why they hate Castro.
Yeah, they love Hitler. They loved Hitler. Oh, did they love Hitler?
He's not for the people.
Shut up, he sure was.
Yeah, he sure as hell
Did
was.
you see all the people come out at the rallies?
Certain people he wasn't for, but he was for.
You gotta gang. In order to unite people, you gotta gang them up against someone else.
You just hit me with a big ball of literal. You use Hitler. Hitler was not a man of the people. He just was charismatic. But I'm just saying.
You just used Hitler 5 minutes ago for your arguments.
I'm gonna tell you something. I think every ideology has a benevolent point to it. I think communism has a great point to it. It's the people running it that fucks it up.
By the way, I got good news for everybody here. I don't know if you guys saw this. A couple weeks ago, I went to the movie theater, saw Brad Pitt and them cats killed a Hitler. I was proud as a mother.
Oh, my God,
They killed Hitler. He died. I didn't know he went down until I went to that flick.
They got him.
Inglourious Bastards. Norton, you didn't see that?
I did not. No, I like Tarantino a lot. I heard mixed reviews about it.
Oh, I liked it a lot. I think you dig it.
Are we ready for final statements here? Final statements.
All right.
Who wants to start?
Not all white people are bad.
I respect and appreciate Weez's point of view.
Oh, yeah, I don't think you do.
No matter how stupid it is.
Thank you. Yeah, and I will come back with the fact that one of the luckiest men on the planet, Anthony, sitting over there, fucking stepped in a pile of shit named Opie.
This motherfucker, thank you. You fucking asshole. This is what kills me. His last callus on his fingers healed yesterday. He used to fucking fix refrigerators. And this cocksucker is Lord Barrington III. Like, you're an asshole.
I got mine, motherfucker. I got mine.
Wait, and even worse than that, I heard rumors that this lucky motherfucker goes to casinos. Take this. He doesn't want to pay for the poor people's health care, but he'll give Atlantic City $50,000, $100,000 because he's an idiot.
They employ a shitload of people, don't they?
That is true.
Yeah, but Trump got the money. Not those people.
Well, you know something? Trump employs some people, too.
right.
But let's tax the shit out of the people that employ people and keep unemployment at 10% or higher.
Wait, you had your final statement.
You really did.
Sorry.
You really had your final statement.
My final statement is that
Colin,
Anthony,
yes.
whose dream 5 years ago was to someday work the walk-in freezers. Now he's got a fucking panzer tank.